Melbourne's special Grand Prix parade has brought the CBD to a spectacular standstill. 150,000 fans line city streets to cheer on the powerful F1s, with the local hero the main crowd pleaser.
If it was a spectacle of awesome horsepower fans were dreaming of, the revving machines, close up and loud, didn't disappoint, even after a false start by the first Minardi F1 out of the pits. Boss Paul Stoddart hoping they'll negotiate the turns a little better come race day, and at far higher speeds than the parade's 80km/h limit, BMW Williams rising to the challenge.
And I just loved every minute. I could just about cry. Oh, this is beautiful.
More than 150,000 lined the route, celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Grand Prix in Melbourne. Test driver Antonio Pizzonia clearly thankful for the support. Not to be outdone, the smaller engines Ford and Holden leaving the crowd in a spin. The crowd pleaser, homegrown talent Mark Webber. Showing no signs of nerves ahead of his debut race with BMW Williams.
Yeah, awesome. It sums up, of course, how the Australians feel about their sport.
Security has been extremely tight for this parade, ensuring all fans a safe vantage point from which to see these amazing machines, and they're hoping this is just the beginning of a new Grand Prix tradition in Melbourne.
Everybody's just so interested and want to really get in there and have a good look.
I think it'd be great to do it every day, but, we'll have to think about that in the future.
But there's one team adoring fans would like to add to the lineup. Nicole Strawn, 10 News.
Melbourne's in a spin on the eve of our 10th Grand Prix. While much of the CBD stood still for the one-off street parade, the atmosphere was building across Melbourne. As our Aussie speed demon prepares to make his debut with Williams BMW, Mark Webber fans are hoping for a home ground advantage.
World champion soon, yeah, pretty confident, yeah.
Federation Square, a veritable pit lane. The field of V8 supercar drivers had everyone talking talk. Setting hearts racing, classical quartet Bond will serenade the crowd on Sunday, but today left their instruments at home. Not so much the face as the body of the Grand Prix. 25-year-old Melbourne model Melanie Jade Netherclift and the Foster's Grid Girls injecting more glamour. Anywhere else and driving like this could get you arrested, but celebrity rev heads are in training for what's sure to be a great race.
Ooh, it's going to be wild.
However, 10 Stephen Quartermain can't quite get a handle on life in the fast lane.
Well, these two, they just ran me off the road in brutal fashion. I was just meandering along, minding my own business.
Kate McGrath, 10 News.
Excuses, excuses. Eddie's looking good. Now here's Christy with tonight's sport.
More than 150,000 fans lined a makeshift city circuit today to usher in this week's Melbourne Grand Prix. Amid the colour and excitement, though, the claws came out between rival teams. The Minardi outfit fearful they won't get a start. More from Tony Jones.
It might be the 10th year Melbourne has hosted the Grand Prix, but the fascination is right up there with the first. And rarely does the sporting public get this close to million-dollar machines. Unfortunately, the motor fans were left idle far too often for far too long, at times 20 minutes before the next instalment of fumes. Formula One boys shared the stage with their V8 cousins, just as popular and noisy. The highlight of the day was neither a Formula One or a V8, but a slow-moving BMW with local hero Mark Webber on board. For all its success, this parade has been a mere pit stop in Mark Webber's preparations for the big race. The next track he'll tackle will be Albert Park. Though not even considered a podium chance, Webber has become the face of this year's race, prompting one rival, Jenson Button, to ask why all the hype.
Yeah, I like to try and work pretty hard at my job, and I'm sure, not everyone's interested in Jenson's comments anyway.
Sharp words also from Minardi boss Paul Stoddart over Ferrari's failure to sign off on changes to his cars.
And if we were stopped from competing this weekend and the drivers were denied their debut race, I would like to think that Melbourne would not be cheering Ferrari.
For the 150,000 fans who lined the streets, they couldn't care less about the sports politics. They were there for the sporting spectacle. Sadly for Antonio Pizzonia, his Williams needed to be pushed back to the pits. If nothing else, it was history-making. Never before has a Formula One car stalled in Flinders Street. Tony Jones, National 9 News.